Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and today we're talking about the updated M1903 Experimental, which now has an alternate bolt action fire mode. You'll be seeing that fire mode plus the normal fire mode, so you can get an overall idea of how this weapon now performs. Plus, I've left in some Peacekeeper footage for added flavour, and because I actually enjoyed using the Peacekeeper more than the M1903, but we'll get to that. So this new bolt action mode essentially means that there's now an M1903 Infantry in BF1. It just also doubles up as the Experimental. That is, as long as the sweet spot is the same as the other M1903 variants, which kicks in at 98 meters out. Now, I don't have proof of this being the case, but I'm going to assume it is for this video, as to me it wouldn't make much sense for it to be different. This would also make the bolt action mode of the M1903 Experimental very similar to the Enfield Infantry, although the Enfield will have a faster rate of fire if the M1903's bolt action rate of fire is the same as the other M1903 variants. Again, I can't confirm this though, because Simthic nor BF1 itself give this information. So let's first go through why people might be excited about this updated M1903 Experimental. Well, some people were very hyped about the idea of getting their hands on an M1903 Infantry. Others who use the M1903 Experimental a lot could view this additional capability as just being a huge free bonus. And it is a nice premise to be able to run around at close quarters with a semi-auto fire mode and then be able to switch to bolt action for mid to long range. It's somewhat similar to the updated General Lu in that sense. There's also, of course, those people who just love the M1903 and simply want an infantry variant to give them more options to use it in different ways. And additionally, some people may not have the issues with vision and such like that I'm going to come to soon when criticizing the weapon. For those players, this update might be a breath of fresh air. Plus, on PC, it may well be a more powerful option due to there generally being less time needed to line up shots and maintain your target acquisition. I'm playing on console, so my experience will be somewhat different. So for those reasons, some people may be super excited about this update and could find that they perform extremely well with this weapon. But with that said, I'll now go through why I, and I assume lots of other people, don't find the updated M1903 Experimental exciting, and why I don't find it to be a very potent weapon at all. In fact, I felt like I was at a disadvantage using it almost all the time. So first off, I think it has terrible iron sights for using in bolt action mode. I don't think the sights are all that great for close quarters semi-auto fire mode engagements, but they're definitely worse for longer range quote-unquote sniping. The aperture you have to aim through is super small and tight, and then the body of the rest of the sights often covers the remainder of what you're supposed to be aiming at. Like, honestly, a lot of the time at range, I only hit the target because the enemy was spotted, and I simply tried to shoot below the red indicator. Otherwise, it was extremely tough usually. I know I don't have great eyes, but these sights absolutely compound my issues. I tried using the standard iron sights and the radium sights, plus different magnifications, and nothing really helped. This is very similar to how I felt when using the Enfield Infantry, and just like with that weapon, I think the optimal range of the M1903 is less than optimal for infantry variants. It's a long range sweet spot, which for the vast majority of players isn't going to be useful when compared with using the marksman or sniper variants for their extra precision. Moving on, pre-update, this weapon had somewhat of a reputation for being kind of like a weak medic rifle, at least for most of the player base. Now, while I think it's a better weapon than most do, I do agree that it generally feels underpowered when compared with almost any medic rifle. So for me, it's now an underpowered medic rifle that also doubles up as a poor infantry scout rifle, and that just doesn't excite me. Some of you may of course disagree, and if you enjoy the weapon, then so be it. That's great for you. But on top of this, I found that while staying in ADS in bolt action mode, chambering a fresh round obscures your view of the target briefly, which is always something that I see as a negative when compared with weapons that don't have that issue. And then it also takes a little while to switch fire modes or load K-bullets, so I'd sometimes get frustrated with just how much time I'd spend in animations fiddling around with the weapon rather than just shooting bad guys. So overall, I don't see the excitement for this update, but if you do, then that's awesome. I'm just not feeling it, for the array of reasons that I've listed. So what do you think? Are you excited for the new bolt action mode of the M1903 Experimental, or is it just not your thing? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's go over to the board of awesome for the epic people who allow you to get content from me full-time by supporting the channel on Patreon. Without Patreon support, I need to get another job, so I simply couldn't make this many videos or put as much time into each one. So thank you so much to everybody on here, including 2 new additions on there this time. Their names will be in my pinned comment as well as an extra thank you. If you want to join them on the board of awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and in my pinned comment. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't want to miss future videos, turn on notifications with the bell button and select to always be notified with the options tab that should then pop up. and then feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'm GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.